Next up, we have Find the Answer with a lot of exclamation marks by 6 Impala featured in Geometry Dash is my understanding. Once again, everybody, this is a Basterd's LFA, a layman-friendly analysis. I'm a professionally trained musician and composer, and my objective here is to explain things in a way so that you don't have to be one to understand what is happening here, musically. So, if you like the sound of that, make sure you're following the channel, subscribe to the channel, whatever to new news, like the video, share the video, leave a comment, turn on notifications, become a member. Once again, everybody, don't forget to join the Discord server, the gaming channel, how to request songs if you're not on the live stream, members getting early access to the content. I have a spiel for this and a bunch of other things at the end of this video, so stick around for that. Disclaimers showing on your screen right now, so go ahead and pause the video to read them in full. Otherwise, please be patient with me. I am acoustic and guitarded, so please keep that in mind. And also, at the time of recording, we recently passed 10,000 subscribers, so thank you again for that. We'll be celebrating in 2 ways. Number 1, I'll be giving away 10 copies of Vintage Story. And number 2, starting now, 10,000 subscribers, we're gonna be checking out some of the games we cover. More on that at the end of this video on that spiel, so stick around for that. With that said, let's go ahead and do this. Find the answers. Let's go. Okay, so we start with a bunch of almost random sounding noise, which purely percussive, purely textural, which is something that we could call it's just an introduction, right? It's like the machine starting. Then we have a bass giving us our initial bass line. The bass line contains a melody which could potentially be our initial motif. Motif being the smallest version of your musical idea, the seed, the essence from which everything else comes from. However, it is a bass line. Bass as in B-A-S-S, right? A bass line, the tricky thing about music is, a bass line is very often going to be something completely different from everything else. The bass can be in its own little world and get away with so much. It's a very fascinating thing. Because bass is usually not something you hear or you listen to, it's something you feel. So as long as the bass player is doing the right thing, you just feel it, and the bass player can just get away with so much. Let's see where this goes. So we're introducing the drums. So yeah, this is actually going to be our motif. For now, we're using that. And of course, we are having these several types of percussion. We're having these like white noise static as an extra percussion, and we are having these like I don't even know what they are. Different types of percussion. The thing about percussion is that it's extremely free. It's one of the most creatively unlimited fields in music. Anything can be a percussion. And when I say anything, yes, you can make mayonnaise a percussion instrument. You grab a tub of mayonnaise, you grab a spoon, and you hit it with that. Congratulations, you have a mallet instrument with mayonnaise. You're gonna make a mess, but it is there. If I were to say, okay, for my next project, I'm gonna use a sample of a coin hitting against this plastic bottle, and that's gonna be the something. That specific sound is going to be a specific sound, and then you can use that as a sample to make something out of it. That is the freedom of percussion. Even in orchestras, this is even observed in orchestras. You look at Tchaikovsky's overtures. He used literal cannons. He used literal artillery cannons as percussion. We have had cases where people bring tubs of water as percussion, and they use it to like submerge stuff and hit it there because it gives a different sound. It's so incredible. Like I think I said this before, right? That you can make a composition saying like, okay, one of the instruments is going to be the left door of a 1975 Honda Civic. And that is going to have, and you can say what you want the door to be hit with, and then they're gonna need to have that door in order for that composition to be genuine. And so you would show up to the concert hall and you would have a 1975 Honda Civic left door in the percussion box. That's how free percussion is. And in electronic music, it goes even further than that. Because then it's not just what sounds you can create, but how you can manipulate them with what we call audio design. and then then that's another rabbit hole completely. So yeah, let's see where this goes. Sounds like a typing machine a little bit. New melody over there. Okay, so we introduce a second beeping over here. Not much else other than complementing the bass line, giving us a little bit of a potential counter melody to this whole thing. I think it might be a doubling though. Might be a doubling doubling being when you have more than one instrument playing the same thing at the same time, and it's just playing one of the notes in what we would call an accent. Accents in music are for accentuation, which means you're highlighting specific points in the rhythm with something else. In this case, we're using a second sample, a second synth, to highlight a specific note that the bass is playing. Let's see where this goes. Now it's two notes. And by the way, this little bit over here that just happened, that little bit of static, is a use of rhythmic displacement. Rhythmic displacement, as the name suggests, is when you displace something in your rhythm, so you're either pushing something down so that it sounds later, or you're rushing something up so that it sounds earlier. In this case, we are using it as a palette cleanser or as an interruption for this whole thing. So yeah, let's see where it goes. Alright, building up. Two things happen. Number one, I think we are... Okay, so number one and most important, we engaged in a ritardando. Ritardando in music is when you gradually slow down the music. The opposite of a ritardando is an accelerando. Accelerando is when you gradually speed up the music. And on top of that, I think we are doing now a... we could say... We're doing a variation of the motif now. It could be a retrograde. It could be a partial retrograde. A retrograde is a way that you can develop your material in which you play something backwards. So you're basically flipping the melody backwards, right? So if we have, let's say, this motif over here. If I were to play the retrograde, we're just playing the notes in reverse. We're not reversing the sampling itself, although reversing the sample could technically count as a retrograde. We're just reusing the composition for that as that. And Hakuna Matata, thank you for the membership. Appreciate it. Let's just wait for this thing to play. I need to redo the sound design of these as well. And Stiller, welcome today. How you doing? Hang on. Just let it play. It's gonna play. There you go. If anybody can tell where I got the inspiration for that one, we can be friends. Because that one is inspired, it's flat out stealing. Anyway, let's see where this goes. New version. Also, now we're grabbing a partial version of the motif. We have introduced a drum beat, and now we're just playing two of the notes. We're just playing two of the notes. So basically, what has happened over here is we had the whole sample over here, and let's say we have ba 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 ba, and then the rest, So the sample ends here, right? Let's say the sample ends here. Let me go ahead and delete this, right? So what we're doing right now is we took this sample over here and made it its own thing. We took that, and wait, no, not this one. This one over here. This one over here, and we are now making the new part based on this. We're doing the new part based on this, and this is how we create the new part. This new bit. Very cool. Let's see where this goes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Bit of piano there. And we actually use non-functional piano. So we have two parts of the piano. One of it is actually playing some of the notes, and the rest is focusing in what is called non-functional harmony. Harmony, of course, being the use of chords in general, like what chords you're using, what scales you're using. You can extrapolate. It's it gets a very complicated feel. It's the most complicated part in music. Non-functional just means that you're literally just playing random notes and you're doing it for the texture. So yeah, we're including an audio sample. Let's just see where this goes. So yeah, very random sounding, but you can hear the shapes. So that took a left turn very fast. So now we keep the same drums that we had just now. We now do a variation. We bring in a melody from what seems to be a vocaloid, maybe a sample of Miku. Yeah, it seems like to be a sample of Miku. We're chopping it to have a similar shape to the bass line that we had before. However, it is faster this time around, which means it's a reduction. Reduction is a way that you can develop your material in which you play a faster version of something you already did. And in this case, I think we're doing a reduced version of the motif that we were doing before. We include the piano now. We are now playing the functional version of the chords that we had just played over here that were not functional. They are following the same overall shape, which is a very risky move because the first time you're just giving us the overall shapes of what we're doing, and now you're putting in the notes and making it make a little bit more sense. On top of that, we have the whole style change. Very risky. Very risky. I like it. Let's see where it goes. Rhythmic display. Back to the non-functional with the piano. Another thing that the Miku here is engaging in is octave displacement. Octave displacement, as the name suggests, is when you displace which octave something happens in. So, and what is an octave, right? An octave it comes from the concept of the scale. A scale is the collection of notes that you are using at any given time. We have the overarching chromatic scale that is all the 12 tones in Western music, right? So chromatic scale is all 12 tones of Western music. That is going to be all the white and black keys in the keyboard. Then, from these 12 notes, or 12 tones, you engage in what are called intervals. An interval is the distance between two notes. You take the two smallest intervals that exist, which is the half step, or the semitone, and the full step, or the whole tone. Which then we abbreviate as H and W, right? So W is for whole tone, which is two semitones, and H, which is a single semitone. You then apply different formulas that you can get 7-note scales. So if we were to do the major scale, we can use C major, right? C, D, E, F, G, A, B, and then we go back to C. Shimi, welcome today. How you doing? So the way this works, right? If we were to count from the first C, that would be number 1. Once we have our scale, we have our different degrees and our different intervals in our scale. So C would be number 1, D number 2, E3, F4, G5, A6, B7, and then when you go back to C, it's number 8, the octave. The octave just means it's the same note repeated. And that means that the scale just continues going. The scales just continue going up until you run out of the range of the instrument that you're using. So if you take then the concept of octave displacement, you are displacing which octave you are doing your melody. So if we take a very simple melody, C to D to E, and you say, okay, we're going to engage in a little bit of octave displacement, the idea is we are going to play C to D to E. We're just not going to do this one over here. We're going to do a different one. So instead of going here, we could be doing something like that, up here, down here, and then here. So instead of this, we could have the next one, which sounds very different, but in this case, it's still C to D to E. It's the same tones, it's the same notes, just not in the same octave. Octave displacement, and I think right now the Miku samples are doing that. Let's see where this goes. Man, the piano is going so insane. All right. So right now, we just had a bit more of a groove focus. We were focusing more on the piano. The piano going absolutely insane with its chords, but giving us more of that jazzy feeling. Let me go back a couple of seconds and see where it goes. It's neutral. Sounds like it too. Now we're adding a little bit more to the piano. And here's the interesting bit. When it comes to music, because the original melody that we had was in the bass, we can introduce relatively new material with the piano and it still fits. It still fits because the bass had a different melody. So our brains understand it as that was the melody of the bass. Now we can have the melody of the piano and we can get away with it. It's such a fascinating thing about music. It really is, because we ended up making I'm just gonna call it Miku for the sake of simplicity, because I don't know the different vocaloids. We end up just using the Miku. We do variations on that whole thing, and now we're doing the piano, doing something completely different, and it works. So yeah, let's see where it goes. Why is it so groovy? The piano. There we go, new version of the melody. The piano again, a little bit of combination of functional and non-functional. Octave displacement. More on the improvised side, I would say. Breaking things down. Having a couple of extra synths in the background, giving us some extra texture. Oh, and we just switched to a super chill piano, slowing it down. Very erratic. How's it gonna end? Other samples? Okay.
You never had them to begin with.
Okay, and we have the pianist lose control, get frustrated, slam the piano, and get roasted. And there you have it. What a fascinating thing. I think Six Impala has always made these very fascinating pieces every single time. There you have it. That was Find the Answer by Six Impala, featured in Geometry Dash, is my understanding. What a trip. And again, it goes to show how important in electronic music it is to have good sound design. Because 2/3 of this piece was entirely sound design. And we got some pretty interesting samples with this one. But it was purely based on the textures that were being played. Being put on the right place in the right rhythm. The melodies contributed relatively little to this whole thing. So this is a good example. Was this atonal? It had a couple of moments with the... It had a couple of atonal moments when we had the non-functional stuff. That kind of counted as atonal, but we still had the bass line pretty consistent there. So I would say it bordered and it flirted with atonality. Atonality, by the way, atonality is music that doesn't have a tonal center. So if we were to speak about the key of C major, that's C, that's the tonal center. Atonality focuses on not having that. It's very, I don't like, I mean, it serves its purposes, but yeah, it's very difficult to enjoy atonal music. So yeah, I would say we flirted with it and managed to get away with it without crossing the line. Blob, and welcome today, how you doing? So yeah, there you have it. Find the Answer, Six Impala Geometry Dash. Once again, everybody, this has been a Basterd's LFA, a layman-friendly analysis. I'm a professionally trained musician, a composer, and my objective here has been to explain things in a way so that you don't have to be one to understand what's happened here, musically. So, if you're watching this on the YouTube video archive, thank you for watching. Make sure you're following the channel, subscribe to the channel, whatever you use. Like the video, share the video, leave a comment, turn on notifications, become a member. Once again, everybody, at the time of recording, we recently passed 10,000 subscribers on YouTube, so thank you once again, everybody, for being here. I do not take this for granted. I am grateful every single day for this. In celebration, we are going to be doing two things. Number one, I am going to be giving away 10 copies of Vintage Story. Vintage Story! It used to be a Minecraft mod, now it's its own standalone game. I love it, which is why I'm going to be giving away 10 copies of this game. The giveaway is going to happen on the Discord server, so make sure that you join. This is going to happen on the second half of February. I will be making the announcements on the Discord, so make sure you join the Discord server. Linked in the description to join this and do the giveaways. Number two, the second thing that is going to happen as a celebration is that starting now from 10,000, every 5,000 is going to happen as well. But we're going to start checking out some of the games that we have covered. The first two games we're going to be covering are going to be Just Shapes and Beats and Limbus Company. We're going to be covering them live on this channel during some of the after shows. We're going to start on the second week of February. We're going to give them a try. We're going to see how far we can get, and I will be making arbitrary arbitrary amount of time for it. So yeah, it's going to happen. Make sure that you're following the channel and all that good stuff. Make sure that you join the Discord server, as I said. That's where everything happens first, gets announced first as well. Whether it's the streams going live, videos going up on the channels, updates, projects, the giveaways, everything gets announced there first. Of course, that's where we also have the community, where we hang out, we chat, we steal memes from other people's servers, claim them as our own, and where I host a Vintage Story server. I like the game that much that I built a computer just to host a server for it. So yeah, linked in the description. Join the Discord community today. And yeah, join the Discord community. Also share these videos with your friends, with your families, with your family's friends, with your friends' families. Those are two very distinct concepts, by the way. With your online and offline communities, go share these videos with everybody that you know. Also use the hype function on YouTube. We have a group on the Discord that coordinates for that. Linked in the description. So go ahead and join and help the channel grow. Yes, musicians, artists, or otherwise, Six Impala or anybody else on YouTube or otherwise. This is an open invitation. If you want any of my musical skills for any of your projects, whether it is my guitars, Mongolian throat singing, you know, little kind of thing, regular singing, voice acting, whatever it is, reach out, let me know, let's work together, let's make stuff, right? And if you're in the audience and you know somebody that you would like me to collaborate with, reach out, let them know. Please do not harass anyone, please do not spam anyone, be cool about things, don't be a rat. Members get early access to the content. I schedule the videos for the week on Saturdays, and if you're a paid member on YouTube, regardless of your tier, you get access to the videos when I schedule them, at least for the LFAs. So become a member today. If you want to listen to this without me interrupting in 3.5 seconds, I'll be linking in the description down below. If you want to request a song and you're not on the live stream, check the pinned comment on this video. If you are, do not request just yet. If you want to catch the streams when they happen live, we aim for Monday through Friday, 6 p.m. Central European Time. We stream live on Twitch, YouTube, and Kick so that you can tune in from whichever platform you prefer. Again, 6 p.m. Central Europe. If you're not in Europe, do not worry. We have the full up-to-date streaming schedule showing in your local time zone in both Discord and Twitch. Another reason to join the Discord. So if you live in Labrar, which means bark, like dog bark, and you're like, yeah, but what time is 6 p.m. in Hungary? I don't live there. Do not worry. Just go to Discord or Twitch, and it's going to show in your local time zone. And follow the gaming channel. I have a gaming channel because, of course, I have a gaming channel. I'm on YouTube. What else could I possibly have? Games are Basterd. That's where I put the gaming after show recordings when they happen. Recorded live during the main channel's after show. And then the VODs go here. This is where the Limbus Company and Just Shapes and Beats VODs are going to go. So, linked in the description, or just search on YouTube. Same username as James R. Basterd. Just swap the J for a G, and you got it. And, yeah, there you have it. Find the answer. Six Impala. What a trip that was, man. Very interesting stuff. Very interesting stuff. Good stuff. Good stuff. But, yeah, let's move on. Let's move on.